having that experiential experience, are they? So it's a real challenge for them.
Yeah. I guess when we talk about e-commerce as well, that word does a lot of work, and there's, so many different channels that behave very differently. And, I've ordered more from Amazon in the last year than in the rest of my life put together. But also been getting deliveries from Tesco, and the grocery e-commerce is extremely different in its challenges, and it's much easier to see efficiencies in that than in individual purchases, and also I guess harder to envisage so much emphasis being put on the opening experience and things like that. You're not going to get Tesco thinking too much about unboxing, I would have thought, over the coming years. Whether we see primary packaging from brands changing for e-commerce that's going to be delivered by a supermarket, I don't know, but you certainly can see more short-term probability that e-tailers are going to be looking into unboxing experiences in the way that the more kind of gift type e-tailers already are.
Well, unboxing wasn't a verb, was it, 5 years ago? My daughter uses it now. She doesn't say, "Will you open the box?" She says, "When are you going to unbox it?" Which just is a strange thing to say, but quite normal for her generation.
Yeah.
Last question, really, about got a little bit of a vision, crystal ball, in terms of where you sort of see the packaging market sort of continuing to evolve over the next 5 years. Is it more of the same, or do you see things like reusable becoming much more prevalent? It's a hard question to answer, but where do you think we might be in 5 years?
Well, I think probably none of these answers will be all that original to you, but I think reuse is going to be a growing trend, and I think it can add real value environmentally, obviously, although I think we need to make sure that there's very rigorous analysis of the holistic sustainability implications, and particularly the carbon footprint implications. Again, I'm always suspicious of silver bullet arguments, and I think when you have something that implies a return journey, then you've always got to think about what are the implications of that journey, and what would the alternatives be if you had something going through an efficient curbside collection and recycling system instead. So I think there's a lot of opportunities there, particularly as the return model and the ever maturing and developing e-commerce model kind of come together, and then the more you have incoming product, the more opportunities you have to efficiently return empty products, and obviously the loop example is a great one of finding ways to deliver that kind of consumer joy and interaction. So I definitely think that will be one major trend. Another one that I find very exciting, and I really hope that it can be extended to more and more product applications, is the concentrate waterless system. So the more we can have that going into, I don't know, beverages, some foodstuffs, as well as cleaning detergents and things like that, the better. There should be very limited criteria for justifying shipping water when in countries where water is clean, safe water is freely available and cheap. That's one thing that I think, where it is a viable option, that it really is potentially a a rare win-win with no no trade-offs at all. I think also we're going through digital transformation in almost all aspects of life, from media to industry, and you've got your industrial automation making a big difference to the efficiency of product manufacturing, and then at the same time you've got the e-commerce and online ordering and feedback loops, and I think we can expect to see much more joining up of those two ends of the digital spectrum, hopefully with some interesting bits of interactive and communicative packaging, and hopefully we can see more and more of that not requiring expensive and environmentally problematic chips and things, but more using simpler technologies. I know we started to see RFID tags getting much simpler to manufacture, much cheaper, and printed electronics. But also, I mean, one of the most exciting, kind of rare, disruptive things we've seen over the last couple of years has been the Holy Grail. And I mean, what really delights me about that is the fact that you can see that as an example of both being a potential game changer in sorting technologies, but also something that the same markings can potentially provide something that's scannable. Not potentially, it does. It provides a scannable by a consumer smartphone code, which enables consumer interaction with the packaging. Hopefully that gives a double reason for brand owners to invest in it.
Yeah, what I particularly liked about that was the collaborative nature of it, because a lot of the innovations are commercially grounded, aren't they? And that was one where companies are working together for the greater good of the environment. I thought that was excellent.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and many of the most impressive advances that we've seen over the last few years have been the result of those big whole value chain collaborations, and thankfully I think that's a shift in mindset which we're seeing more and more embraced, and fewer major players are looking reluctant to to engage in those kinds of things.
I think with a project name like Holy Grail, they could only succeed, really. Although if they did, it's quite a sort of bold, aspirational subject matter, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So I guess my other aspiration would be to see more and more collaboration and more international scope in the way that we look at these things. So through the sustainability awards and through the last 3 years, I've been a judge in the Packaging Innovation Awards organised by Dow, and it's very fulfilling to see the scale of innovation around the world, but also interesting to see different trends. The kinds of circular economy innovations you see in Japan. There've been technologies I've seen which wouldn't have dreamt of before, and I'd like to see more and more joined up thinking and looking around the world for other possibilities, and a more international approach, which may be at odds with current trends in certain parts of the world. But
okay, that's excellent, Tim. Thank you very, very much for your considered thoughts. I had a hunch that you would